people on this planet have taken at least one, the COVID shot, for example. 70%, nearly 70%. Imagine that. That reflects the amount of people that have to follow instruction. They get influenced so quickly.
So influenced.
The government say, take this, it's important for you.
Yeah.
And now you find out you have all type of Epstein class of people in all different type of structure of the society who's doing all sort of crazy things to humanity.
Right.
And they're telling you take a vaccine and that you go around. And nearly 70% of the people on this planet have taken the vaccine.
It's scary.
A lot of things that Einstein theory that he put out there for so long, some of them have been disproved in many ways. There's many things that has been disproved to be the fact 40, 50 years ago. Now we have quantum physics that opens up another gate to show that the universe is really how we make it. We are co-creators of this reality. This is the new things that they start talking now. Oh, we are co-creators of this reality. By the way, your consciousness influences how this reality behaves. If all humanity start thinking in a specific way, this reality has to change. And the crazy things, Alicia, when it comes to this, is that when people are dying in that kind of environment, some of them, they don't know that they're dead, literally.
Yes.
And they get confused in the spirit world. They don't know that they're dead, and they're still clogged up in a machine. They turn into what they call ghosts for quite a period of time. They don't know they're dead. Your body is a planet.
Yes.
And your gut is one of the most intricate system, which means that there's different type of bacteria that needs to be there to create this harmony. So your gut's like a garden in itself, you know, and this is where different things grow. So sometimes when you have a gut issues, it takes up to 12 weeks for you fully to recover from problem.
Greetings and salutations. I'm Alicia Mullings, and this is the Sense Only podcast. This podcast is for those who are tired of the noise, distraction, and disconnection in the world. It's for those who know that we need to be the change that we want to see in the world. Today, I have a wonderful guest who is actually very dear to my heart, very special to me, who is also an inspiration to me, who's actually been doing a lot of work in the community and for us overall in terms of health. He's been doing this for a very long time, educating us on health, bringing people over to the UK who are also doing major work on health. Because of him, I've met Queen Afua years ago, but this is because of this gentleman here, his brother who is here, who I'm gonna let him introduce himself. I'm happy, over the moon, to introduce to you, Neb.
Wow, thank you so much for this, Alicia. We go way back, as you know.
We're way back.
You know, thank you for this lovely, warm, heartfelt introduction. My name is Neb from the Tibetan, Mind, Body and Soul in Brixton. So as you already know, we've been there since originally 1996. You know, I've been there since 2012. Originally, I've been there since 2008, but managing, you know, that environment since 2012. So it was my honor really serving our communities in mind, body and soul. So we're not only selling health products, but we have also books. We have for your mind, you know, and then we have, you know, us for your soul, because we always, you know, there's always some interaction that takes place where we help people in their journey, this physical journey that we take. Some of us, we don't know how the hell we got here, why and everything, but we're still here to help people in our best capacities that we can to, you know, help them in their health, in their spiritual state and mental state and things like that. So I'm honored to be in the show and discuss some of the things that we do in our environment.
And on that note, what are some of the things that you guys do in your environment?
And what we do at Tibetan is really, we focus on healing our communities.
Right.
When I say healing our communities, nobody can heal a person. You know, oh, this person healed me. No, you can be guided. You know, you can be guided to heal yourself. There are certain things, there are specific spiritual healers that are in a specific part of the world. You don't find these healers, but they have the ability to tap into this unseen world, and they'll be able to get something out and show you what your primary cause is. And if you ask me, being there since 2008, I would say the primary cause of our health it's mainly something that we do to ourselves,
Right.
and something that we do to other people.
Okay.
That's all other creatures of this world.
Right.
It doesn't necessarily have to be human, it can be animals. You know, when we start hurting other things or when we start hurting ourselves, that's where most of the physical disease starts. And some people are born with this issue, so they learn something about life. So some people are not meant to be cured. They're meant to go through that suffering so they can learn something in that journey. I know it sounds very rush and tough and raw, me saying this, but sometimes, and these people will tell you, you know, there are many, disabled motivational speakers who have no legs, no arms, and they're telling you, what are you complaining about for? And they become a great motivational speakers or motivational persons because they're showing you, you have everything, what are you crying for? So these individuals also feel they're serving a purpose by motivating others who are capable of doing everything. You see, so everything has a purpose, everything has a reason. We understand that, we know that. So in our environment, when a person comes, sometimes you see, you know, some of the breast cancers, for example, that we find in our patient or our customers, it has direct relation to, for example, you know, when women abuse their femininity.
I'll let you expand on that.
In whatever way, shape, or form it is. So we have a lot of, instances in which a female has been abused. But when she's abused, I'm not talking about she let herself to be abused by others. You know, when woman is doing something that she doesn't want to do it, but for the sake of whatever that might be, relationship, you know, for the sake of children, they sacrifice themselves to make end meets or to make certain things happen, or be in a relationship with abusive men. Okay. And then the woman not supposed to be there, but she's still there. She has the choice to leave, but she's still there in different capacities in which now, you know, that's why I'm saying hurting ourselves.
Okay, I hear you.
And that she shouldn't be there, but that causes this type of reaction that takes place in women. So it manifests in a woman's breast.
In the physical, basically.
In the physical, that what represents woman as mammalian.
Right.
Breast mammalian means literally, you know, a breastfeeding, you know, creatures or animals. So mammalian represent a woman. So it kind of has that effect. People that misguide people or people that hurts people, and you know, they saying good things to us on one person, but behind their back they're doing something bad towards that person.
Yes.
This type of people sometimes have a problem with their heart or blood.
Right.
You see,
okay.
Sometimes when we are not supposed to be in the right direction, we're not going in the right direction in our life, somehow we have a problem with our legs.
Okay.
You see,
I hear
so
you.
sometimes I do see that quite a lot, in which when we are misguided, when you're in the wrong direction, then something happens that reflect that idea. You with me? So that I've seen it quite a lot in terms of this, because we're not only dealing with just from the materialistic point of view, which is the last frequency when it comes to causations, you know? Right. So that's the last frequency of vibration. So when you look at it from a higher point of view, most of us, we are misguided. We are spiritually blind. Yes. You know, and we don't know what is good for us, what's bad for us, and we just are gullible. We are going in a direction based on influence. Now, since we have so much influences in this world today, right? You know, and then how do you discern, how you dissect information so that it can help you? And mind you, I'm hearing so much misinformation when it comes to a product, for example. Right. People watch something on YouTube or TikTok, somebody say, this is good for you. And then sometimes, mind you, the people that come, actually exactly know what type of videos they watch. Okay. You know, and why they're asking that question. Yeah. And then like, okay, have you done the research? Why mixing these two things in a molecular structure? How is it gonna have a benefit to it? I think there's this for example, there's this viral video that's gone about specific product of oregano oil, shilajit, sea moss, and black seed oil, oregano oil. They just put all the stuff in one go and said, yeah, this is good for you. They just mix it. They mix it. It's like somebody trying to play like a World Cup, having a rugby player, and then you have basketball player, you have a football player, you have a tennis player, You bring all these professionals to come and play football, you know, and to play against Arsenal or some other team. How is that going to work?
It's
so,
not gonna work.
yeah, so it's always important that we look at the ancient formula, how the ancient did that, why did they did what they did in that way, you see. Or if it's something new, scientifically researched, okay, what ingredients is actually there? Shilajit is like a residue of dead, you know, plants.
Okay.
And that is a residue that turns into a tar found in mountains.
Yes.
Sea moss is this. It's a plant. It's a seaweed from the waters.
Yes.
You see how when you combine them, what is the the benefit, and in what format are you taking it? For example, if you take sea moss, it has a lot of minerals and vitamins. And then if you take shilajit, it has a lot of minerals and vitamins.
Right.
When you take all this stuff in one go, is that not going to overwhelm your body? It's not going to overwhelm your system now when you take this. Right. What other negative effect can it have on you when you're taking so much, for example, iron? When you take too much iron, it's not good.
Right.
Anything of too much is not good.
Right.
So when people are packing all this one in one thing and call it a product, and then it has this viral kind of, influence on people, and people are taking it without no knowledge, they can harm themselves rather than healing themselves.
Right.
So 80% of humanity, as some of the 5%ers will say, that we dumb, deaf, and blind. This is the three terms that they use. Sometimes we can't see, we can't hear the true meaning when somebody says, because they can articulate in such a way, doesn't mean what they actually present to you is actually good. You see, so 80% of humanity, the way we operate is based on this, we just can't see clearly, and we get influenced by it like that. You see, that's the same way 70%, nearly 70% of people on this planet have taken at least one, the COVID shot, for example. 70%, nearly 70%, imagine that. That reflects the amount of people that have to follow instruction. They get influenced so quickly.
It's so influenced.
The government say, take this, it's important for you.
Yeah.
And now you find out you have all type of Epstein class of people.
Listen.
In all different type of structure of the society who's doing all sort of crazy things to humanity.
Right.
And they're telling you take a vaccine and that you go around. And nearly 70% of the people on this planet have taken the vaccine.
It's scary. And the thing about that part of what we've all just experienced several years ago is that people like ourselves stood out, and then people want to put certain labels on us. I'm not going to say it on here, but you can work it out. The people who didn't take it were on the other side, and we were looked at in a certain way and treated a certain way. And then fast forward, it's like, oh, you guys, you did the right thing,
Yeah.
I shouldn't have done it. I shouldn't have taken it. This person I know has now got all these problems and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, at that time, when people were talking to us, me personally, I'm breaking down why I never took it. But there was a certain expectation that I would take it anyway, because people know how I show up in the world from a long time.
Right.
But
yeah.
I don't want to go down that road.
No, I would just put it out there.
So people can
it's all good.
I'm so passionate about that subject, but I think some people, I don't want to be in the space of I told you so.
No, I get that. I get that. And I have, mind you, I'm still in that world. I'm still have patient people that are coming because of they have taken the vaccine.
Yeah.
I have patients that said, oh, Neb, I've gained the sensation on my shoulder. Since I've got the COVID 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I still have this sensation on my arms. When I have some phone or when there's some radiation comes to me, I can feel this pain go for. I have a patient that was literally, he was bedridden for about nearly a year.
Wow.
After taking. So I have people that passed away. I mean, let's be real. There's nothing to hide in this day and time.
Right.
Like after all these years I'm just saying, just overall.
The evidence is there, man.
Yeah, overall, the majority get very influenced in some things, and then they are very gullible. And most of the time, I have to talk like this because
no, it's true.
We are being ruled by what we call the 5 P's, like P, like the letter P. The alphabet P, sorry.
Yeah. I'm just saying, what's the 7 Ps?
The 5 Ps, actually.
Oh, 5 Ps,
Yeah,
sorry.
there are 5 Ps. One is politics.
Okay.
So the way how government rules things, run things, and we are greatly influenced by that. They bring new acts, new law, new rules. But that's more or less to take our money from us, technically.
Yeah.
You know, who gets in control of the sweat and tears and the contribution that the society is making, and then who can take that money and do whatever with it.
Right.
You with me? That's the first thing, the politics. It's just, and the second thing is really, philosophy. People talk about the idea of how the universe came into existence by way of this and stuff. Oh, the universe came into this 13 or 14 billion years ago, and we was told that everything has no purpose. Imagine that. The Western science, the way we learn, we was told that nothing has a purpose. Everything is an accident.
Yeah, it's wild.
Imagine that, and then when you die, nothing happens, and when you die, you just perish into nothingness. This was the foundation. Oh, it still is, by the way. This still is the foundations of the Western values, the way we do things.
It's lacking soul, basically.
Yeah. But that's why when you go to hospitals, when you are treated in such a way, they think your body is a machine.
Yeah.
Purely it's a machine.
It's an object.
Yeah. We don't know everything about it, but more or less it's just a machine. Then if you have something wrong, we'll get like a saw. You know, it's not a saw machine or a screwdriver. If you break your stuff, they'll fix it and then they screw that with a screwdriver.
Literally
and they just
from the hardware store.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And this is the reason they can do that in the hospitals is because those science was accepted as the foundation.
Right.
So that happens in everything, in politics, in the way our children are being raised and things like that. This philosophy of the idea how the universe comes into existence, who we are, what we are, how do we get into this world, there is a big influence from that. And this type of influence, now a lot of things that Einstein theory that he put out there for so long, some of them are being disproved in many ways.
Yeah, but they don't make announcements.
They don't make an announcement. They can't.
It's like on the hush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they can't make those things as I know. There's many things that has been disproved to be the fact 40, 50 years ago. Now we have quantum physics that opens up another gate to show that the universe is really how we make it. We are co-creators of this reality. This is the new things that they start talking now. Oh, we are co-creators of this reality. By the way, your consciousness influences how this reality behaves. If all humanity start thinking in a specific way, this reality has to change. Literally, the government has to change. The society has to change. So influence is a very big thing. So this philosophy, this idea how we are what we are, and if somebody dictates us, then we are subject to that idea, and that subject idea start to sprinkle into the law, into the act, into the medical world, into the way we think about ourselves. You see, so that's another P. The second P is polytheism. The third is polytheism, which is the belief of many gods. A Christian can believe. I can have Christians here, 20 Christians. If you ask them, what is God to you? Describe what God is. Every Christian person will give you a different idea about God. And then you have different domination within Christianity that have different idea. Jesus is not God, but God is the most high cannot be just. Some people say Jesus is God. So they have different belief system in terms of what created us, who's the responsible on top of all things.
Right.
You see, so everybody have a different belief system. Hindus believe different ways. Buddhism have a different belief system. In Islam, you have different beliefs within Islam, within the teachings, as well as Judaism. So polytheism is the belief of different gods. Right. Me and you can be in the same family, same household, but I can be Christian, you can be Muslim. Now all of a sudden you go to the mosque to follow one culture. I go to Christianity to follow one culture. You see, so that divides humanity. Right. So this polytheism it divides people in what we hold dearly to our soul. Right. It divides us on a soul level based on what we believe. So that's another P. And then you have also psychology. Yes. Psychology is the art of understanding human nature and to use that accordingly. So when people was told to take the vaccine, oh, if you don't take the vaccine, this happens to you, this. They understand the psychology. You get chicken and chips if you get the vaccine. I think they was doing that.
Sorry?
Yeah, you didn't know.
You get a chicken and chips?
Yeah, no, fish and chips, sorry, let me know.
You get fish and chips?
Fish and chips, yeah. Free fish and chips if you get, and then the government was literally working the fish and chips shops.
Oh, stop.
I'm telling you, if you go research it, it was there. It was there like that, but also they was using psychology, what makes people thrive, what makes people afraid, what makes people do things.
Yeah.
So they use the system to influence people a lot. So psychology is one of the biggest things that tool is being used, to divide humanity on all levels. And the last but not least is what we call penal system. Mm-hmm. The penal system that says, if you do this, I will punish you that. If you do this, you're going to, if you do that, you're going to hell. Right. If you don't take the vaccine, you cannot fly. So they put fear, which is a penal system. You get punished. There's a punishment that comes if you don't follow this. Mm-hmm. You see? Mm-hmm. So this type of idea creates guilt. Yes. A lot of us who are born in a monotheistic idea is that, we was told we was born sinners. You're already guilty. Imagine that. You come to this world, you're not even, you as a baby, this idea tells you that you are already guilty. You're already here in the world. You are already a sinner before. You haven't even committed crime yet. And now
it's a heavy weight.
Yeah. Now
put on humans.
Yeah. And it takes only like a few crimes for you to feel like, you know what? I don't want to die.
Right.
I don't want to die because if I die, I know where I'm going to go. I'm not going to heaven because I've done so much things in this world. Your natural nature forces you to do that. Mm-hmm. And now all of a sudden you are told you're going to burn forever somewhere. It's a punishment. It is one of the highest punishment, is to go somewhere and burn forever. We don't even know what the word forever means. We only live for 120 days if you're lucky. What if you're blessed, not lucky? 80 years if you're lucky, 70 if you're lucky nowadays.
Right.
But if you live for that long and then you commit a crime for 120 years, imagine I commit a crime every day for 120 years, but the consequence is not being burning for 120 years, but it's forever. Forever means it has no beginning and no ending. Whoever created you, in that sense, whoever created you and give you that doctrine must be of very demonic nature.
Yeah, that doctrine right there is
I'm just saying
wild.
That. It's a wild statement for people to follow and do that. And Imamju, there are billions probably people that have this idea. Mm-hmm. So you have grandmothers in hospital, clogged up with all morphine. She's already on high, on drug. And then there's all this machineries out there just to survive. You with me?
So you're just in fear your whole life, because if they're instilling that in you from when you're a baby until forever, there's always that weight that's just constantly on you. And as you just said, you then even have fear in leaving this place.
Yeah.
And as you just said, you see people playing it out with this trying to live forever jargon, which is wild.
Yeah.
Why would anyone want to live forever?
Yeah.
To the point where they're borrowing or stealing limbs from other people and all sorts of things, pumping themselves full of crazy chemicals.
And the crazy things, Alicia, when it comes to this, is that when people are dying in that kind of environment, some of them, they don't know that they're dead, literally.
Yes.
And they get confused in the spirit world. They don't know that they're dead. They're still clogged up in a machine, and they turn into what they call ghosts for quite a period of time. They don't know they're dead.
Yeah.
Like people that actually have a sudden accident. People, in violence, in a situation, a person dies while they're hiding from something. And then once they come out of the body, they don't know they're dead. So they're not conscious of that reality. Consciousness continues. This is the reality that we know. We don't believe in this idea. We know that consciousness, your being, will live on.
Right.
Your physical body, the vessel, the prison sometimes we call it, the vessel that we carry, it just goes on into the ashes of this world as it came from. But your consciousness, your being, your essence, your ego, I call it, the soul, will live on. You see, it will move on from this into a different state of existence. They call it a holding place sometimes, for you to come back into this world, because you are too heavy to exist long in a spirit world. You see, your essence is too heavy to exist there. So you just fall back. The word Nephilian, you see, navel. You see, navel cold. This is the same word to fall. You are falling, coming back to this earth because your being has not reached a standard requirement of perfection for it to live on into that other domain, in which we call the domain of the mental plane, which is another, it literally bypasses the spiritual plane and then you go into the mental plane. It's all mental. So
a lot of people can't handle that. Everything you just said literally has gone over so many people's head.
I think this is what we're coming into, and
we're coming into it. Well, there's a lot who are just not even there yet. Literally,
I get that, but this is something we have to talk about. This.
No, definitely.
And this is knowledge that it might come up. I'm sure there's a lot of people who will resonate with this, especially if you have studied people with near-death experiences.
No, there's a lot of people who are scared of things like that. If someone was to approach a lot of people and start talking about near-death experience, they're going to switch off because the level of fear, like you've just spoken about earlier, a lot of people can't handle it.
And it's sad because I'm with you because I have a lot of patients also who people have died. You know, they lost people in their families, and I'm sure we all lost people somehow, somewhere in our family, and the beauty of losing people, as long as they die not in a very tragic way. You know, tragic means car accident. You know, our children is being stabbed and dying in young age, or somebody's in a good old age. Something happens drastically to the point where their life's been taken in this instant. But if somebody if they die in a peaceful death, in another word, they've been lived their life, or they're sick and then they die not in this traumatic way. Most of the souls, if they're guided most of the time, they always going to a way better place than us.
I say it all the time.
Yeah, they go to a way better than us. Listen to me. If you have your loved ones who passed away, there's no point crying. Because they looking at you and say,
it's like they're doing better than us.
They look at you and say, what happened to you?
Literally, I'm like, we're out here suffering in this life. When you're free from this vessel, you're living your best existence. Yeah. I say that all the time, but hey, it's because of some people's head. Yeah, so I have actually invited this, her name is PMH Atwater. She wrote over 10, 15 books, and she had twice near-death experience. Okay. Yeah, and she became like an advocate for people to tell their story of people who have near-death. NDEs is called. Yeah. And she have interviewed around 6,000 people. Okay. You know, I've done around 2,000 people that have died, nearly died, or they've clinically been dead. And they telling one of the most beautiful story. You know, when they come back, they're no longer afraid of dying. They realize that this body, they are in a stimulation. Yes. And they don't feel like this body belongs to them. They feel once they come out of the body, it's like, oh, I'm glad I'm out of this prison. So the body technically is a prison to your essence. And most of these near-death experiences of all races, of different nationalities, of different race and also of features, they're always saying the same pattern. All of them, they describe the same patterns when they die. Depends on how much the soul have evolved. If the soul has evolved to a specific degree, they start telling, they don't need a guide, for example. Once they die, they don't need somebody to come and pick them up. Hello, ancestors. No, ancestors no longer becomes, spirit guides, but they're probably your friends. So, once we come out of this body, we don't have our great-great-parents anymore. Then we no longer classify them as our great-great-parents. They become our soul friends or a soul group who are going through the same journey. Right. You know, rather than, oh, that's my cousin now. No, when you die, you have no cousin there. Unless your consciousness still in this human experience. Yeah. Even when you come out of this body, and if you're still in that frequency, then the people will come according to you expect them to come. Right. Rather than, So I always urge my patients who have family passed away. For example, I have a person who had somebody, her brother commit suicide, for example, and when she was very young,
and she's traumatized from that. And since then, she had insomnia. The insomnia now causes all other health problems, you see. And then in a consultation, we're trying to find out what is the primary cause of her. Right. It's no point treating this blood pressure. It's no point treating all this health problem that she's got. We just want to go back to the primary cause. And I'm very blessed for that. And this is my background from young age. I can see what primary cause. I'm always trying to see what the primary cause of things, even in my life, in the way I do things.
But that's so what you've basically described is, you know, when even with the word disease, when people break it down and it's dis-ease, that's what you've described, isn't it? So whatever they've experienced and it's shook them within their self or their spirit self or their psyche, that is then manifesting physically, as you're saying, into ailments, which is obviously, it's, I guess, a way of highlighting that something's not right within your being, because obviously we're so busy within life doing the thing. So a lot of the time people can ignore and not pay attention to what is, you know, bothering them, because you're just trying to live, you're just trying to survive. And
you cover some of the primary cause and you're trying to deal with some of the issues that we have. That comes up a lot with many of the people that I have seen, I have spoken with, you know, and most of the time people cry. In my consultation, we do bioresonance scan, which is a company called Zyto we use. It's quite really advanced system for scanning and things like that. It's not your just average system that we use. And sometimes I actually do, before that, I'll do consultation before that, just to see. And then I want the scan to confirm of what we discuss, you know, which is a good thing. And in that process, we always seen that the emotional, the spiritual, the lack of knowledge, the fear that we just talked about, you know, is the primary cause of most of our physical health issues. Right. You with me?
I agree.
So, and I know for a fact now, from my journey, being in this journey since, I would say, for quite some time, and understanding who and what I am in a spiritual sense, I come to full understand that the body is a prison, really, but also a place of to experience. And we happens to be very young soul in this spiritual universe that we exist. We are very young souls. And the level of things that we need to learn being on this planet reflect in our relationship, in how we do things and stuff like that. So you do see that in all races, you know, in all races, we are very young souls as a majority. So coming to this world, as much as it's a prison, but it's also a place for young soul like us to experience, you know, specific things in this in our evolution and development. And then we'll be admitted to another dimension for another further experience. Without beginning, without ending is the statement of this infinity principle that shows us that, you know, we are in a constant transformation until we reach God, for lack of a better word, or the domain of that place in which we disintegrate back into this oneness. This is one of some of the ideas, becoming one with God. Right. For lack of a better word, God in this sense, you know?
God, most high universe.
So I think this type of ideas is prevalent. So as long as, while you're in the prison, you want to make sure your prison cell is clean. Right. You know, you don't suffer from other stuff while, you know, you're supposed to experience some things. Now you deviated from that. Now you have to deal with this physical body. You have to deal with this physical matter, which is your prison cell needs to be clean, you know. And for you, I use this word on purposely like this, because some of us, we are so caught up in this physical world, materialistic ideas, you know, and we worship in the materialistic views and this life. In a way, we lose ourselves.
And not doing any internal work.
Yeah, so a person that's very materialistic in this world, I'm not saying that you should not have nothing, you know. You know, you should have good things in life.
There's balance.
I have some good things in my life too that I like, you know, it's the specific things. Yes. But it still doesn't mean I'm worshiping it. It still doesn't mean that I am, if that goes, I'm going with it. You see, you know, so that's the things, like, how can you be detached as much as you can from this world? Detachment of food, detachment of, you know, in our case, men would say women. You know, that lower nature aspect of man. You know, lust and sex is one of the most biggest tools on this planet, you know, that brings life to this world. Also, that destroys a lot of people's life as well. So how can you be mastering this different aspect of things that nature provides for life to continue on this planet? But how can we not abuse it? How can we find balance in that, in ourselves, in relation to this physical world? So detachment, fasting regularly, charity work, helping people, doing something for nothing so that you can learn something, says Julian Hall. Doing certain things like that in which you become part of that, and nature will deal with you different.
It's so true.
Trust me, nature will deal with you different when you start becoming part of everybody. You become cooperative soul on this planet.
And you actually then find that your own life goes into a space of flow.
Yeah.
There's less resistance. There's less things getting in your way in terms of what you want to do. So, as I always say, it's just you balancing your frequency, and environment's everything. Just adding to what you've just said, because you've obviously mentioned that our physical environment, but I always say in terms of your actual, it's your physical environment as well, but your external environment as well, doubt. Which obviously includes people, things, etc.
Exactly. Animals, everything. Looking at life as one. They're all one.
Everything's important. Yeah. And taking care of everything as well. But it's also, I think it's a case of people need to just take stock of these things, compartmentalize, and then literally start analysing all these individual things and how they are affecting us. So as you said, it's when you're taking in things of not even just what's going in your mouth in terms of food and drink, it's what's going in your eyes, what's going in your ears, what's, as you just rightly said, influence. All the things around us are influencing us. Is it for positive? Is it for negative? Is it taken away from you, or is it adding to you? Including, as you just said, very rightly so, other humans. And even more on top of that, the human you're choosing to do life with. Yeah, exactly. It's the biggest decision ever.
No doubt. And you're so right saying that, and this is what I'm coming to understand also. What matters the most, and when you come out of this physical body, and you are destined to die, get on with it. We're all destined to die. Our best friend is death. It will never escape us. And every day we wake up, we are one day close to it.
This is it. It's the one thing that's promised.
And the beauty of that is that you're gonna wake up. That's all that happens. I'm telling you this.
Yeah.
You're gonna wake up from a dream called Neb.
Yeah.
From a dream called, that have created the dream called Alicia. That's what we is. Oh, I was a character. I played a character. And you wake up from that dream. And that's why the ancient Egyptians says coming forth by dawn. Right. You're literally waking up into yourself, into your full glory as a light being.
Yes.
You see, so that is the fact. We know that. And most of the time in what we have heard, most of the time when you are waking up from that state, most of the things that you should worry about, it's not how much money you made. It's not how much people you showed off. It's not what you have. It's not even what you have done. It's the things that you should have supposed to be doing. The little things, that the little word that you say to that person, the disrespect stuff that you done to that person, or the belittling things that you've done in front of everybody, and then how much that person has been affected by that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You see, that little things that you don't even notice anymore. Absolutely. To you it was a joke, but to that person was all their life.
Yeah.
You with me?
Yeah.
Because they've been bullied like that all their life, and then you just added that on top of it. The little things that you picked up somebody, the little things that you did, just defending the little person there in the middle of something, you defended that person. That's what it counts for some reason.
100%.
And that's the only thing it counts. It's not how much business you have, how much money you've made. It's mainly those little things, the little stop that you've done, and then ask, are you okay? How are you getting on with life? That little thing is the most important. That's what it counts in the spirit world.
It's how we treat each other. And as they always say, when it comes to that day, when it's your funeral, because obviously you won't physically be, you physically be there, but you won't be warm. But they always say, the only defining thing at that point is how you made everybody feel. Yeah. Full stop. Because nobody businesses, as you just said, about your money, your designer, whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's how did you make everyone feel? And this is how we just need to be walking through. I was, as I say, one of the keys, and I've said it on this podcast before, one of the key things that stuck with me in terms of some of the words that my nan has said to me. She literally says to me, Leash, live good with people. That's it, just live good with people. And I've held on to that. And I pray that in terms of feedback of anybody who's encountered me over the years.
You've always been a shiny star. You've always been helpful. You go extra miles to help other people, you know?
There you go. So there you go. Testimony of how I live good with people. There you go.
No, I've always been seeing you to be a straightforward person with people, you know? And it's beautiful. And there's a lot of people out there with that mentality. But also sometimes there's a media. There's this idea that we was taught to be divided by way of who we are. You know, we divided as a race, we divided as humans on this planet. We divided on so much different level in which we are even afraid of helping another person. We are afraid, it's like, if I help this person, what will they say? Or we're afraid of doing certain things. But the influence can be very big if we do it with the right intention. You see, so as I said earlier on, that now we know that the universe and everything that we do, we are co-creators of this reality. That means you have a great influence. Your thinking, your thought, your belief system, what you know, what you don't know, you know, has a great influence how the universe interact with us.
Yes.
So in this sense, you know, once you know all this, and then once you build this foundation, it says, you know what, let me just close my eyes. I'm in this train station. Or I'm with people sitting here and then I'm seeing this person in distress and sad. It doesn't matter what race they are. It doesn't matter who they are. You just facing them in front of you. This person is sad. Guess what you can do at that moment? Go ahead.
No, finish what you're saying, because I literally just remembered the story. I've got a testimony just to add to what you're saying, literally.
So you can close your eyes at that moment. And I'm telling you, the power of the mind and the power of thought is like so powerful. You can close your eyes and send divine love to that person, send motivation by way of imagination. You see?
Yes.
We can imagine a nation. I like that word, because you can imagine anything, and then if it's in your imagination is at the grasp of your hand. This is a statement that's we've been told. You know, whatever you imagine in your mind is here, right there. So if you see somebody in distress, doing good thing doesn't mean necessarily get up and do something. You can close your eyes and open your heart and send divine love to that individual person.
Absolutely.
And healing energy to that individual person. And you'll be surprised how much positive energy it comes. He's the person's way when you do that.
It makes such a difference. And it just to add to what you're saying, as a real life story that I've just experienced about a month ago. My uncle took me out to dinner about a month ago because I was feeling away because I just had to get rid of my car. So I was feeling sad. So my uncle's like, Leash, I don't like that you're sad. I'm going to take you out to dinner. So I met my uncle in Victoria, London, and we was at the main train station, and we was going to walk across the road to go to a restaurant across the road. And because I had food on me, because at work we just got loads of food, and I had so much. I was like, you know what? There's always loads of homeless people in Victoria. Let me just carry this food with me and just find someone and give it to them. So I'm holding food. So I told this to my uncle, says we need to go and just find a homeless person and give them this meal. So as we're walking, heading to our restaurant for our meal, I'm holding the food. I was like, oh, there's a homeless lady there. Let's give it to her. Before we was about 5 meters away from her. She's jumped up. She's like crossed the road in distress. Like she was kind of like chasing somebody. She was an English lady. She was red in the face, really distressed. Right. So then she's crying at this point. She's now coming back, but she's on like the other side of the road, just crying, red in the face, upset. So I've highlighted that to my uncle, and he's like, what's going on? So he's called at her, and he's like, what's going on? Are you okay? She's like, and she's come over across the road to us, and she's like, they've just robbed me. She's home, like she's official homeless. And she's gone, they've just robbed me. My uncle goes, how much did they rob from you? I think she said something, I don't know, I don't want to cry. I think she said something like £5 or something, or £15. She needed that money to have shelter for that night. Right. And this is why I love my uncle so much. It's my same uncle who did episode 4 or something on this podcast. I'll probably link it in there somewhere.
Right.
My uncle was like, calm down, you're blessed. Know that you're always blessed. And he was already shifting her energy. Just the fact she's homeless, we're standing close to her. My uncle hugged her. My uncle hugged this homeless lady so tight and squeezed her to the point where she was like, oh, you smell so nice. And I'm standing there like, what is happening? My uncle then got his wallet out his pocket, just handed her £40 straight.
Nice.
I was like, and then I just obviously gave her the food as well. I'm an empath, so I felt if there was a moment where I could witness love, I witnessed it there, and she received it, and she was so grateful. But that aside, that was giving her money and food, what I read from her, she just felt seen. She felt seen and she felt cared for, and she didn't have people scorning her and all the rest of it. Yeah. Just to add to what you're saying.
That's
so
beautiful.
I know that she'll never forget that moment. More so my uncle.
Yeah.
You know, and I know that would have made such a huge difference in that person's life. We don't know her. We just left her with the money, left her with the food. She was now calm, less distressed, and then we've gone on.
Yeah, that's so beautiful to hear. That's a beautiful story.
It was so beautiful. Yeah.
So that's just been an example. It's so beautiful. And also some people have stereotype being this, being that, and sometimes you just go beyond anything. And then if something is in front of you, just deal with it. Help to your best capacity you can to make sure that that person that's in front of you, that nature of God brought right in front of you, and you need to respond, you know? That's what that is. I'm not saying go out of your way and trying to help people that, you know, they might not even appreciate what you're doing.
Right.
Or they don't need even your help. They're just there like that. Some people, we helping the wrong people sometimes.
Of course, but you gauge it.
Yeah, so when something is right in front of you, nature's telling you need to respond, and we should always, you know, respond accordingly. I always say that to people, and that's a beautiful story to hear in terms of that. And that's why I feel most of the time is this connection was old. You know, when you start doing something for everybody, and what happens is that what I've learned is that everybody will do something for you. Yeah. So when you are distressed, the whole world will want to come and help you all of a sudden. You know, or something will happen because now you are in distress. That energy, your karmic energy is so, you know, versatile in the way you've been doing things, then it comes back to you in a similar way. And then you're like, wow, my enemy start helping me all of a sudden. My enemy is just holding me down on this cliff. He's supposed to let me go, but he pulled me up and hugged me. Yeah. You know? Yeah. That's how nature, that's how God, for lack of a better word, works, literally. And that is based on your karmic, you know, relationship. They say, you know, for every action, there's an equal reaction, right? But that's not true. Sometimes, for every action, sometimes there is a cancellation. Yeah. A cancellation. Yeah, but also there's a cancellation of things. So let's say a person has been doing something bad for some times. Yeah. That's hurting others. Now imagine the person is converting to do good things. In that process, the karma is not actually good or bad. It's just it cancels each other out.
Oh, I hear you. Yes. It
neutralizes things. Yeah. So sometimes when we have done something that we feel we're bad, you know, sometimes we can cancel our negative karmas or negative action or thought that we have done, that we have thought, or the action that we have taken can be cancelled out by something. You see, so I always urge people, don't give up on this idea that your life ends where you are right now, because wherever you are, in whatever circumstances you're in. However, you can always change based on your thoughts. Constant affirmation.
And intention.
Yeah, confirm affirmation, intention builds a different vibration. Absolutely. So everything is in a constant vibration, and your circumstance right now is just one thread. It's just one thread of circumstances that you go stuck into. Yes. And it's like a guitar, it's like a string of guitars. So imagine that there's unlimited strings that you can start vibrating on. Yeah. You know, so I always urge people to look into mental yoga.
Mental yoga?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have physical yoga, which is what they call hatha yoga in Hinduism, in the Hindu Valley spiritual science, which is called hatha yoga, that this was physical activities, you know, and things like that. But you have also karma yoga, which I just mentioned just now, how you can do something in the world that you cancel out certain things.
Right.
You see, and then you have Raja yoga, which is a mental yoga.
Okay.
So it's a mental exercise you can do.
Okay.
So, for example, you have a mental exercise can be a constant affirmation, that you do regularly at specific time to help you to regulate specific things. So, for example, if you create affirmation, let's say you want to elevate yourself from a specific state, and then your word that you're looking for is elevation. So in this word elevation, you pick up the letters and then you create a symbol out of that.
This sounds very advanced, Neb.
So for example, no, it's very simple. Let's say elevation, right?
Yeah.
So you have the word E there, right?
Yeah.
And then from E, you just take the one line, let's say the middle line of E.
Okay.
And then L, you take the one line of that and you create a symbol out by picking up each.
So you're mentally doing this rather than
you can do
it
physically. You can do it physically. Draw it first.
Okay.
And then you create your own symbols based on those letters and then some of the alphabet. You pick up one part of the alphabet.
Each letter.
Yeah, each letter.
Okay.
So for example, elevation, you have I or N, right? For the I, you just take the dot.
Okay.
And the O, you can take an arch of the O.
Okay.
If it's O, you take the arch of it.
Yeah.
And then you create a symbol, a new symbol that represents elevation.
Right, I hear you. Okay.
Simple, right?
Yeah.
And then that symbol, you stick it onto your wall.
Oh, nice.
And then every time you see that, that represents
elevation.
And then you have, within that, you have imagination that represent that.
Right.
So that elevation, what does that elevation look like? You see? Okay. So, and then as a man thinks, so is he, they say, right?
Yes.
So shall it be, whatever. So that statement is the same thing that I'm just saying. It's a mental yoga.
What was the correct name for that yoga again? Repeat.
Raja.
That's Raja
R-A-J-A. Yeah, okay. Raja yoga. So, and then there's many. There's a sleep yoga, how to sleep properly, how to open yourself up in a dream state. I really love this type of subject myself. There is also death yoga. Like when you die, you know that you're dead. You know what I mean? A lot of us, we wouldn't know, literally. So, so there's what they call death yoga. In fact, if you study the rainbow body, you heard about the rainbow body?
I haven't.
The rainbow body is the spiritual science in what they call the Doctrine Buddhism. In Doctrine Buddhism, this is what they call the Tibetan Buddhism. There's like 8 stages in their development. Once you reach the 8th stage, then you're finished.
Okay.
You've done that school.
Okay.
But there are those who selected few. They are going into a nice degree, which is not open for everybody. And the people that went through that degree, once they age and die, they actually are sitting in a meditation state, and they die in that process. When they die, their whole body disintegrates. It disappears into nothingness. Their whole body disintegrates.
I'm going to have to look into this.
And then they end up, the only thing that you found where they have died is their nail and tooth and a little bit hair. The rest is just gone. But when that happens, when they die, there is a big rainbow.
Beautiful.
There's a rainbow outside their house, or outside where they die. There's a big rainbow literally outside that's actually literally displayed.
That's a special way to die.
Yeah. So this is like so this is they call it the rainbow body, in which the person disintegrate the whole body.
Wow.
Whereas in ancient Egypt, some of the temples was built, like the pyramid was built for the person completely to transfigure. As they have it in the Bible with Jesus, he said this transfigurations of a person. So some people are sometimes never died. They transfigured their body into a light being.
I hear you.
And this rainbow body is the watered down version of fully transfiguring themselves without being old age. You see? So some of them, they age, they're dying. So that's how they transfigured. But in ancient Egypt, they mastered certain things. They transfigured themselves out of this physical body.
As you say, in terms of people maintaining their physical body, right about now, the thing that I've seen is like a major talking subject is parasites. Yeah. And I went down a crazy rabbit hole regarding parasites literally last week, to the point where I was like, frightened, and I was like, and I made a beeline to your shop to go and get my parasite cleanse. Right. I was like, I'm not taking any risks. So in terms of that being the subject right now, would you want to explain to the people just all the things that are parasites, basically what's going on with parasites, the physical body?
Yeah, we've been selling different type of products for parasite cleanse for many years. I mean, however, we always develop and we always research and looking at how the ancient communities did certain things, how to make sure that we get high quality of ingredients that will allow us to, get a good effect on whatever we're looking. So I think the parasite is one of the biggest issues in the way we live. The parasite, you have, all sort of food that's full of parasite eggs. Yeah. And you have also, animal people that eat meat. You don't know when the animal died. You don't know when it was on that shelf. You don't know for how long it's been on that shelf. And there's different type of bacteria that feed off that at different timeline of this decaying. So one of the biggest enemy we have on this planet is actually the sun. At the same time, it's good for us, but what ages us is this visible light that we see. The visible light that we see ages us. You see? Okay. So that's fact. So we need to understand that is the case. So every time we're on this planet, anything that's also, especially anything that's dead, especially carcass, the worst enemy is the sun. Hence, Dracula and all those vampires, they don't want to see the sun because they're dead, right? Right. That's the same principle. Right. So if you hiding from the sun, there's a big issue. You got problems. You with me? Because the sun represents some type of the highest force on this planet. Right. If there is no sun, according to astronomy and stuff like that, we'll be dead in 8 minutes. Indeed. So yeah, we can see that it takes 8 minutes for sun's light to travel to us. Mm-hmm. So basically, the sun plays a big part, but when something is dying, then you have all sort of things that are actually there to feed off it. At different timeline. The dead carcass. Yeah. Yes. So when we eat certain food, they have specific parasites. When you eat certain food, it's not being cleaned, especially your restaurant, some of the shops, some of the food that's been packed in a specific way. Yeah. And sometimes it's supposed to be in the freezer, but somebody forgot to put the freezer on. Right. Now you have food that's semi-off, but now turn on the freezer. The food is still okay. Let it stay there because we're gonna sell it anyway. It's going to go to this market anyway, and nobody's going to know. Right. Otherwise, we're going to lose our job. So you have all sorts of scenarios in which human will do things to make sure they get away with a lot of stuff. Or you have a restaurant owner, who has meat that expired already 2 days ago, but by law he shouldn't sell it, but he needs to pay rent right now, and he's struggling to pay his business rate. Now he's looking at the situation, and you coming along. And it's, thanks God that I've got a customer now I can feed off, So people will do things like that for money. That's why I say, don't let money be the primary cause and then you're hurting others just because you need to make money so that you can survive. If you're struggling with something, nature is telling you shouldn't be in that business. You shouldn't be doing that, period. Now you're going all the way out now to harm people to make your ends meet, then you are becoming a devil. Right. You devaluing, that's what the word devil means, dude. You start devaluing the freedom, the health of other people. And we live in a society, nobody cares about that. Yes. Nobody cares. As long as they get away from it, as long as you don't die the same night, people will do all sorts of things to get this money. Again, this materialistic view of the world that we here by accident. We only live once. If I harm you, that's fine, because I'm gonna die anyway, and nothing will happen to me, because once I die, you die, nothing happened. So you can see how much people was doing so much evil things to each other because of this philosophy. Right. So I have to talk like that because most of the time the food that we eat is the thing that causes us a lot of problem. If you eat your sweets, there are specific parasites. If you eat your meat, if you like your steak, your raised steak, semi-cooked steak, then you have specific parasite that will linger around in there. You see, and now all of a sudden, our colon it's literally from here going all the way down here, can hold between 3 to 8 kilos of undigested food called chyme, or feces as well. The lower you get, you have feces here. It's waiting to come out, but the only time it comes out is when you eat more food.
Start to push it out.
Yeah, and sometimes it stretches.
Yes.
It stretches when people feel bloated, when people feel like they eat small, they can't go toilet for a period of time. Constipation.
Biggest thing.
Yeah, and then also people that have problems, smelly feces and all that stuff. That shows you that there's some type of bacteria, parasites inside.
Right.
So the best way to get rid of parasite from your system is first to create a lifestyle and to be aware where you buy your food, why you buying it for. Some of the parasite can mimic humans' hormones and enzymes. Wow. In another word, imagine that you drive it on the car somewhere on the street, and then a police officer stops you. But it's not a police officer, he's just dressed as a police officer. Right. He has all the walkie-talkies and everything as a costume, but he stops you. He speaks very eloquently like a police officer, and he acts like a police officer, but he's not. That's how the parasite behaves in your system, to influence your brain to tell you, I want you to send me this food. I need this food right now.
Yes.
So you go in the kitchen at 12 o'clock in the night. Yeah. Now all of us, you go in the kitchen, you pick up this food and you yum it. You see, that is not you. You get influence by way of they call it the gut and brain influence. No, you left out the parasite at that time. Wow. You left out the gut, the parasite connection to our brain. You see, they mimic specific neurotransmitters in our body to tell you need to eat this food. Yes. So that whatever you eat the most, that will show you the type of parasite you have in your system. You see?
Oh, so what you crave the most?
Yeah, there's a specific parasite in your system.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah. So just to add to what you're saying in terms of the parasites mimicking, in my research, as I said, I went down the rabbit hole, and some things that I'm learning, you can dismiss it or
no, don't worry, you're good.
I was learning that, because I'm very passionate about the subject of dementia as well, because it's so rife in my family. Like, I have a passion for that. And it was saying basically that some of the parasites, some people may not have dementia because it's actually, as you said, with the mimicking, because some of them can get in the brain, and you're saying in terms of the neurotransmitters, some of them, it's actually parasites messing with the mentals of the person, and they're actually not
sick in that they
don't have that.
Yeah, big time.
Which was wild for me.
Yeah. So I was in Germany. There was a study that was done by European Union on parasites. Okay. At that time, because they was using human feces to feed another person. They take a human feces to feed.
Sorry, who was feeding?
Yeah, I know.
The human. Sorry, rewind with that.
It's because of the bioculture. So I went to study that. So there was
someone was eating another person's
No,
feces.
not in that kind of way as you think. They will take it as a capsule, but in terms of
they're still consuming it. Orally.
Yeah, so that because the bioculture, I know, sounds nasty.
It's beyond nasty.
Yeah. So this is some of the research that was done, but it has proven to actually work for people.
To heal.
So the bioculture of the gut. Depending what person it is, some people have a very bioculture, so it mimic when they consume that, or when they put that in their gut, it kind of rejuvenates the people's. I went to study that aspect of it, but the point I'm trying to make, that's not the point I'm making. But in that process, they did a study where they found this rats who are infected with a specific parasite in their gut. Yeah. They start acting tough, and they start acting very suicidal. Okay. And then they start going to other animals like rodents, cats. And they start trying to go and fight cats. They don't understand why they did that. Wow. But they was directly influenced by the parasite that's in their rat's stomach is telling the rat to go and fight so that they can be eaten by another animal so that the parasite can live on into the other animal as a host. So they influencing the rats to behave that way. You know what? Do you get it? So
yeah, I've got a correlation with that because like on the subject of meat and vegan, shall we say? So I guess more of a plant-based diet and more of a meat-based diet. When people say that you can not really ever find an angry vegan, or angry vegetarian.
Yeah.
But you find the people who are more angry in society.
Yeah.
More meat eaters.
I tested it myself.
Literally.
I tested
this is a thing.
It's so true. I tested it on myself.
Yeah.
I was vegan at certain times for years. And then I said, you know what? I'm not a follower. I don't want to follow what everybody says. So because it's something, no, I want to try it on myself.
Yeah.
So I went back to eating meat. Okay. That was like years ago. And then when I did that, I became more angry. I become more lustful. That's what I've noticed. And I become more forgetful. These are the three things that actually straight away identified. Yeah. Within like a week, I identified that those three qualities were the first, symptoms that I have noticed straight away. And then of the obvious other stuff is my bowel movement becomes slow all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's constipation.
It just kicks in straight away. And that's how I knew that meat is not supposed to be eaten the way we eat today.
Right.
You see, no cultures in history have eaten the way we eat meat today. In fact, we're doing some big sacrifice for these animals. You remember when something dies on this planet, the heavens have to open. The spirit world opens up when something dies. That's why some of the ceremonies, rituals that you find in some societies in Africa, they're picking up the chicken and then they do something, ceremonies, animal sacrifices. Right. You find it in Judaism, when they're sacrificing all these animals in those religious setup. There was always a reason. And then after they sacrifice something, they say God appears, according to the biblical story. And then even in the Haitian, voodoo, spiritual science, you do see people they do something and then they open and they call on something. Right. So that's why in Islam, for example, when they say halal food, supposed to be drained all the blood, yes, and they're supposed to call on the name of Allah before the animal gets slaughtered. Right. So you don't call on a funny spirit. Right. You don't call on the spirit of some funny entities. Yeah. To be possessed in the animal. The animal get possessed by the energy, spirit, that whatever is open to. Yes. So you have to call a name when the energy opens. So now in most of the butcher houses here, what they call halal, guess they cannot, for every animal they have to call on in the Bismillah. They have to call this God to Allah to call. But guess what they do instead? What? They play music. There's a big play, music is being played, and then the chickens, they hang upside down, and there's this machine, like a blade that rolls like this, and the chicken comes and their neck just get cut. Because they've automated it? It's automated. Right. So nothing is really halal in this country. Wow. There's nothing halal like that when something is mass produced. There's nothing that is a Christian-based thing. So when we slaughter, guess how many chicken, just guess how many chicken Chinese slaughter a year? I don't have a figure. Guess how many? Chinese in this country or Chinese in period? China. Chinese in China only. This is not where grandmother somewhere at the backyard is just cutting off the head. I'm talking about like in those industrial level. Guess how much? How many chicken have been slaughtered? This is the statistic probably 6 years ago. Guess how many? Just the chicken. We're not talking about cow. We're not talking about the pork and all other animals. Just in China. 800,000. 800,000 chicken. 1 million to 800 million then? 800 million chicken. I don't know. Because it's such a big country and because they're so industrial, I'm going for a high number. Yeah, you didn't go to a high number. Oh, I didn't go high enough? So it's not 800 million? 9.5 billion. 9.5 billion chicken a year just in China gets slaughtered. That was 6 years ago statistic. Could be more. So now just Chinese killed that amount of animal for food consumption. Wow. Now you go into Africa, you go to different part of Africa, you go into America, you go to Europe. Look how much chicken are being slaughtered in that industrial level. Look how much energy is being opened. Look how much blood is flowing on this planet. Just for us to live, you see. So when you look at this idea that we live in a very cannibalistic world, this is going back to Parasite, by the way. Yes. But we live in this cannibalistic world. Everybody's a cannibalistic. We eating another living creatures for the sake of survival. And that's why there's some of the question that's been asked for so many years, like, if God created this world through love and harmony and peace, how comes everything that we do is to kill another thing to feed off? Right. The animal kingdom that God has created, if you're talking from a religious point of view, all this animal kingdom do the same thing. They're hunting each other. Everything that they do is just hunting. Lion goes, run around. He doesn't even pick up the strongest gazelle. He picks up the weakest one to devour. You want me? So we live in this world of cannibalism. There's no love. It's just, everything's just based on how much I can take from this. Right. Even if you are vegan, you still have to kill plants. Yeah. Plants have consciousness, they have feeling. They do. All of that stuff, that's been proven now, So even being that, so we live in a very cannibalistic world. Yes. So, but we got so far nowadays to the point where now you have also, just because you're a cannibal doesn't mean that you have other things that feeds off you. And one of that's the parasites. The parasites feed off us, they influence us, they mimic specific enzymes, they can hide in what they call biofilm. They can hide in what we call in our mucus. There's a lot of mucus in our gut lining. Yeah. So they hide into it, and sometimes they have suctions. They suck onto the gut lining. Some of them have hooks.
Oh my God, yeah, I was seeing some of these things.
Some of them have hooks. They hook onto our gut lining, you see. So a lot of product that's out there, right? We call them the physical demons. Yeah. Parasites are technically physical demons that's in our gut. Yeah. And the more you eat these dead animals, the more you consume, processed food, you see, the more you consume in the places where the place is not clean, you have all sorts of issues that comes from that. So that is one of the main reasons. For example, in Ethiopia, the second death rate in Ethiopia is any type of digestive related issues. Wow. And then some people in Ethiopia eat raw meat. And I'm telling them, how do you eat raw meat? Like, it's a traditional. It traditionally means like something like dried fish in West Africa, in all this type of cultures, people die of that. They don't see the correlation between, what you do and the thing that's affecting you. So these parasites are very powerful. They can hide in many ways. So the best way to get rid of parasite from your system is one of the products that we have, because most of the product that we've seen out there, it has wormwood and black walnut. These are the main famous ingredients. And wormwood has what they call jaglone. Jaglone is an active ingredient in wormwood that kills adult parasites. It interfaces with parasites' nervous system, for example. Wormwood has what they call thijan, sesquiterpene lactones. These are active ingredients in wormwood that interface with the parasite's energy production and things like that. So those ingredients, the active ingredients within those is good, but those two ingredients, they don't kill the biofilm and the egg of the parasite. Okay. So now you've taken only these two ingredients. After taking these ingredients, let's say you kill those parasites, you still have the eggs. So the cycle continues. Oh, God. So now some other brand, also some of the product, they have also what they call clove in there, knowing that clove has active ingredients called eugenol. Okay. Eugenol is the only ingredient that's found in nature that actually has the ability to penetrate and kill the parasite eggs. Okay. You see? Okay. So that stops the parasites so those three ingredients are very good to start with. But a lot of product that's out there, they have them in a capsule form. Okay. In a liquid form or something like that. Sometimes the active ingredients is not strong enough. Those ingredients like clove has to be freshly grounded. Right. Instead of having some things being grounded for 3 years, somewhere stuck at the warehouse, and then some people buy it and package and sell it to you. Right. So those active ingredients, they don't work efficiently. Okay. You see, so those three ingredients. But now, let's say you have those three ingredients, black walnut, wormwood, and cloves, but now you have dead parasite in your gut, but they don't come out.
Yeah, because I was learning about the toxins that's then coming from
They're going to create toxins, they're going to create more bacteria, they're going to create more issues in your gut. So you need something that can eliminate parasites. Yeah. And there's a lot of influence where people believe that the activated charcoal and zeolite will remove the parasite out of your system. And we are completely wrong. I don't know where this information comes from. I don't know who initiated this idea that parasite can be eliminated by way of those two ingredients. Activated charcoal powder is very good for indigestion, wind, heartburn. Also, they're very good for removing odors, you know, from your body. But they don't remove parasite. The way activated charcoal work is like the reason they call it activated charcoal is because it has a specific temperature.
Okay.
When it's been burned, when they burn most of the time coconut shell,
yes,
when they burn it, they use specific temperature, and that temperature is not found in nature, like in natural nature.
Yeah.
So they use a specific heat to burn this charcoal. In that process, the charcoal will create like a hole around. When you look at it in a microscopic level, you see the charcoal will have a hole around it. Okay. That will attach, things will get attached onto it. Okay. But it will attach vitamins, minerals, enzymes, the good things and the bad things. So activated charcoal is not recommended to take on a regular basis for cleanse. It should be only taken once in a while. Like if you take it once a week in the evening before you go to sleep.
It's like a quick detox.
It's a quick detox, not for parasite, but mainly for indigestion, wind, and things like that in your gut. Okay. So zeolite is good for metals. So this, when you would take zeolite, it loses its ion, one of its ion. And then because it loses one, it needs to replace it with something else. Right. And it attaches itself with metal. Okay. That's how, by way of ionization, that's how zeolite works. Okay. It attaches metals. So activated charcoal and zeolite are good for removing, you know, toxins, indigestion, metals and things like that. But it's not going to remove parasites. So I've been asked this question for many times. I've been answering this question for many times in terms of people asking if they can use these two ingredients. We don't recommend that. So
I heard bentonite clay.
Bentonite clay, again, it's a clay. It's a bentonite, it's an active ingredient in a clay. Right, okay. So when we say bentonite clay, no, there is a bentonite inside a clay. You see? So there are different type of clays. So bentonite is not a clay, it's an active ingredient within the clay. Okay. And then there's many other active ingredients in that. Bentonite is also good for toxins, metals. Again, similar to zeolite, like similar to activated charcoal. So the best thing to use for removal of parasite is two things. One is what we call psyllium husk, very simple. Psyllium husk, very famous, been used for thousands of years. You know, we know about this product for many years ourselves, been in this field. Psyllium husk, and then also slippery elm. Right. Slippery elm. Slippery elm, again, the word slippery, you know? Slippery because it becomes mucilage. It becomes like
the hooks that you spoke of.
Yeah, they cannot hold on to it.
They can't hold because it's slippery.
Yeah, so the gut lining, it heals the gut lining very well. Right. If people have like Crohn's diseases, you know, eukaryotic, which is another inflammation in the colon. If they have that, that's one of the best things to use, the slippery elm. It helps the gut lining, it soothes the gut lining because it has what we call mucilage inside, which is a soluble fiber that allows the gut lining to heal. So in our Nativita Parasite X Dewormer, it has a binder and eliminator that comes with it. It has psyllium husk. It has a slippery elm. You see, it also has neem. Neem has an active ingredient called azadirachtin, which is a Persian word for holy tree. Okay. And neem is well known for balancing, to make your gut uninhabitable for the parasite. Okay. Right. So it's like you taking the parasite into gas chambers, right? Or you put them in a specific environment where you don't exist. Like if you put me around negative people around me, Trust me, all you have to just put me around negative people, I'm gone.
Same.
Basically.
Same. I disappear.
In a way, that's not productive, you know?
Not productive. Like, this is not my vibration.
So, exactly. That's how the parasite will feel. Take a neem, for example, in your gut.
Okay.
The neem was like, nah, I'm gone. This is not for me. I cannot exist here.
Yeah.
You see, so neem is very good. It has also another ingredient called nimbin.
Okay.
Nimbin is also active ingredients that literally slows the reproduction cycles.
Okay.
You see, so neem is very powerful in there, as well as black seed. So in our product, we have black seed in there. Black seed is called what they call hydrothermoquine. Hydrothermoquine has the ability to destroy the mitochondrial DNA of the parasite, so they cannot produce energy.
Good.
You see, so all these ingredients, we also have papaya seeds. Papaya seed has the ability, it's got active ingredients called carpain and papain. Papain in papaya seed breaks down the protein. So it's also good for your digestion. It breaks down protein for you, but also because protein is one of the major cells in parasite, that's all they use for receiving energy, for communication, for moving things around. They use mainly proteins. So if you take carpain and then you swallow that and then interface with their protein, you see, so within that with their specific cells, within all human living beings, it's called chaperone cells.
Okay.
Chaperone cells are responsible for folding any cells into three-dimensional state.
Okay.
They are responsible for bringing the cell into a natural state.
Okay.
If they get damaged, then they cannot fold the protein back into natural state.
Okay.
So the carpain does that. You know, the papain does that. It breaks down those things in the carpain does that. Papain has an astringent effect. It tightens our gut lining.
Okay.
Because it tightens our gut lining, they cannot hook onto the gut lining.
Okay.
You see, it tightens it.
Okay.
So the parasite cannot hold on to it. You see, and it also kind of supports our gut lining. So our Parasite X Dewormer has 8 different herbs in one. You see, so because of this intelligence, 8 intelligence system, they do all sorts of different things in the system, and we have seen excellent results from customers who have taken it.
I feel different already. I've been taking it for less than a week, yes, and I feel happy.
Give yourself 2 weeks and you'll see a really good difference. Some of the statement that we get, I have customers talking about dementia. They said, oh, yo, you know what, Neb? I can think clearly now. Before that, I couldn't even put a full sentence without, phantoming what word I should use or not. But now I can think clearly. Yeah. We know the parasite do definitely interfere the way we think.
Yes.
So, and this influence can be eradicated by taking parasite cleansers, I would say once every month or every 2 months.
Oh, that was literally going to be my next question. How often should we do these cleanses?
Yeah, every 2 months is fine.
Okay.
The parasite will actually be eliminated and you will feel much better. So every 2 months, I would say, depend on your lifestyle. Depend for how many days you take it. You can take it for 7 days or up to 14 days. I
was just going to empty my...
No, 14 days.
Yeah.
No more than 14 days.
Okay.
Because some of the active ingredients, the question people don't ask is, if they do all these bad things to the parasite, how comes they're not doing this to our body? When we take all these herbs, how comes it's not affecting us in the same way it's affecting the parasite? You see, this is the question people don't ask properly because we're not allowed to speak we're not allowed to think like this. How comes the parasite, what we take, when we say that it's destroyed the mitochondrial DNA, we have our mitochondrial DNA.
That's what I was going to say, ours is different.
And also the energy production. What makes that difference? One of the answers that we always give, this is an important question because a lot of people, when they overdose on something, I have customers, they say, I want to get black walnut worm, but I want to do it myself. I say, okay, do that. But do you know how much you're taking?
Yeah, you need the dose.
Do you know how much dose you take?
Yeah.
Because if you don't, then you're going to damage yourself.
Right.
With everything else, everything too much, everything else is not good for us.
Yes.
So the question we always ask, It's that, do you know how much you're taking? Imagine that somebody just blends, let's say 100 grams of black walnut and they boil it and drink it because somebody says that on TikTok or YouTube or wherever. And then they're in danger. I have many customers who have taken stuff in the wrong way.
Yeah.
And that has negative effect on them.
Right.
I've seen them, people are actually been in hospital for taking the wrong stuff. And I'm like, who told you to do this? I watched this guy on the videos. Did you ask him a question before you took it? No. So it's you to blame. Like, come on, why would you do that to yourself? It's a suicide mission.
Right.
So that's why because we've seen all these problems, we formulated 4 years in the making. We have worked with, even though I've done so much studies on alternative medicine myself, we still have to get qualified medical herbalists to come and sit with us and then see. With 4 years in the making, this product has helped so much people.
Yeah.
You're gonna find it in all the shops in your area, in your health stores. It will be in your local health stores. It's probably there by now, but we have allowed people that wants this, and then we have a distribution collaboration with companies that we've been working for years, who has been distributing our black seed oil for many years, for more than 6-7 years. They have taken on these responsibilities, and they are very high demand of this product. Everybody wants to do this cleanse, but we always said, take heed, make sure you know what you do when you bring something into your world. Not only what you consume, also the type of information that you receive.
Yeah.
Did you ask all this question out? Did you test all these things before you act upon it, before you accept anything? You always have to do your research, otherwise you're in a state of belief. I have customers coming through the shop and say, do you have this net? I watched this video, I'm watching this video on TikTok, and it's all AI generated.
Crazy.
And the person is giving testimonials.
Crazy.
And everything is, or sometimes they take the voice over of people that have done something like Barbara, what's her name?
They'll imitate the voice.
They imitate the voice and said, take shilajit.
Yeah.
Shilajit is good for man's vitality, it's good for performance.
Yeah.
No, the Tibetan monks, they never took it for that purpose.
Right.
They never took that. They took it for nutritional purpose rather than for sexual enhancement, all that stuff. And people buying it like that, and then people come and ask me, do you have this for this? I say, it's not going to do that for you. You've been misled and misguided with that information.
Well, give thanks for people like you in the community and in the world, because the way that there's critical thinking has just
gone into downhill. The world we live is crazy.
Question something, people just blindly following.
Yeah, because of our leaders of the world. They are giving us misinformation in the world. Yeah. And they're lying right in front of us in the world, and then everybody can see it's a lie. So now anybody can say anything and get away with it. Why? Because our leaders do the same thing. If our leaders can do that, then we can do that too. As long as I get away with everything, then I will do it. This is the world we live. People are making crazy statements and basic knowledge turning into something superficial, So life is very simple, and we need a simple truth, a simple explanation. We don't need Einstein equation from here to here, and then we found out that equation was wrong after many years. So we need a simple truth as a human soul, as a life itself. Even Einstein said that it's like, but at the end of the day, everything is simple. The truth is very simple. And we should be able to explain things like we explain to children. Children are supposed to understand us,
100%.
Let alone, adults and things like that. Children, with what we teach, a child should be able to ask a question based on, that child understands fully, and then they ask us, okay, since you say this, what is this? Since you say that, that's how simple it is. And if somebody giving you all this complication and they use terms to use English terms, I just mentioned active ingredients that's in those black walnut, but I can also explain to you, like Azadirachtin I just mentioned, right? It means holy tree. It's a Persian word, but to us it sounds very complicated, or when you use a word like hydrothermal quinone. When you use this word, when you break it down, it just means very simple word, Even though the word thymol means holy, which I like. That's found in the blacks, that's actually interesting terms that they use to describe that, because black seed oil cures everything but death, they say. And then the active ingredients like thymoquine is like, thymo means holy, and then quinone. It's like a molecular structure of things. That's all they describe to you in a simple term, but in essence, it's not complicated.
Right.
So somebody trying to sound heavy, they want to sound big, they use this heavy terms to describe that. But what's the point if the person don't understand what you just bloody said?
Well, and that other time, because I was just reading Leon Marshall's book, and just as a segue, Leon's coming on this show.
Nice.
He's the next
Big up
guest.
Leon Marshall, that's my boy.
Leon's coming, man.
Yes.
So I was just reading his book, and he actually puts a line in there which he is explaining
Yes.
that when people complicate things, because he very much advocates for things
Simple
can be so
terms.
simple.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's either if they can't explain it simply, they actually probably don't know it.
Yeah.
Or they know it and they're trying to confuse you.
Yeah, or they
basically.
or they don't want to teach the people that needs it.
That's what I mean. So they're trying to confuse you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then you sit down and say, okay, let me go and search what this word means and stuff like that. And I do that a lot when I study books. And sometimes I have no choice to sit down and have a translation right next to me. And then I'm reading a line and I'm like, okay, sometimes one page takes me 20 minutes to bloody read because they don't explain what those terms are.
Yeah.
So yeah, big up Leo Marshall. I'm well aware of his books. I think he's got a book called The Hidden Science of Melanin.
That specific book is the book I'm referring to.
Yeah, he's good. And I like that type of teachings, you know. So he understands our people need that type of teaching. It has to be conveyed in this way, you know. So it's a good thing. And I always say simple truth is very important. We don't have to make things complicated to people. The world is already complicated on purpose.
This is it.
So that we cannot see the true light, which is the light insofar as knowledge, information, you know, true, simple truth. They don't want us to see, so they have to use all these terms, you know, to hide the light, you know?
Yes.
So it's very important that we are in that direction. But yeah, Parasite X Dewormer is really good. And I always urge people to try it out and see how you feel, you know?
And so, can I send them to you?
Yeah, I think Natavita, we now people can come to our store, purchase it, or natavita.co.uk online.
Online for international people.
Yeah, international.
Okay,
if you're based in the state, we ship it internationally as well.
Yes.
And we do see a really, really good result from people taking Parasite. And we always say, if you have Parasite in your system regularly, then you are possessed. You are possessed by a force who influences you to eat and live in a specific way, so that you become a host.
Yeah.
You know, and then you have a guest called Parasite in your body that indulging of you.
It'd be nice if it was just Parasite, as you just said, as a singular. You got a whole colony.
Yeah.
Let's keep it real.
No doubt. And different type of parasite, bacteria, as well as, you know, some type of toxins that build up in your gut and things like that. Your body is a planet.
Yes.
And your gut is one of the most intricate system, which means that there's different type of bacteria that needs to be there to create this harmony. So your gut's like a garden in itself, you know, and this is where different things grow. So sometimes when you have a gut issues, it takes up to 12 weeks for you fully to recover from problems.
Right. Yeah.
You know, 12 weeks. Sometimes you have to take a probiotics as well as prebiotics.
Yeah.
Now,
and post as well.
Yeah, I mean, the probiotics, the prebiotics are mainly like inulin, you know, fibers, like, you know, green banana, you know, plantains are very good as a form of fiber. The good bacterians, they feed off it, you see. And the probiotics is actually the bacteria themselves.
Okay.
Yeah. So the bacteria. So you create basically the prebiotics is like the farm.
Yes.
You know, tilting the ground and making sure the seed that you plant will actually grow in efficiency. So that's what that is. So the trees are the seeds is the bacteria that we take, and the soil is the prebiotics.
Right. Okay.
You see?
I hear you.
So that's how you create this environment in your gut, and that takes time for it to rejuvenate.
Right.
Some people say they take one thing for 1 week, say, no, but I don't see no difference. Obviously, you're obviously not gonna see difference. Did you took you 2 days to grow? Was your mom pregnant in 1 day and she gave birth to you the week after? You know, it takes time. Natural nature has to take its course.
I swear.
So with all due respect, so we have to explain a lot of things in this format.
Yeah.
So this is very important that we understand. Also studying the physiology and autonomy, how the body works.
Yeah.
You know, the digestion process, you know, what takes place in your gut when you swallow something. How does the stomach relate into your gut? Why is your stomach acidic level 4 point something? Why is that? You know, why do you have acid refluxes and then end up with, you know, throat cancer or mouth cancer and stuff like that? Why do we have our bowel in our stomach? Why do we have our liver? And then why do we have the small intestines, you know? And why do we have 95% of our digestion, nutrition absorption takes place in our small intestine? Why is that? Why is the 5% of absorption takes in our bigger colon?
Right.
So when you ask a question like that, I mean, nowadays you have ChatGPT that can answer that question to you instantly. I mean, knowledge is just at the grasp of your hand. It's just there.
People don't ask that.
Yeah. So
Which is
we like to
scary.
be told, but what we've been told is something that you could research yourself.
Yes.
So at Natavital, what we do really, what our core principle is to teach people to become self-efficient. Teaching people to become their own doctors, because the word doctor means to be teacher. So a doctor is supposed to teach you what not to do. But now you go to the doctor and say, I've got this problem. The doctor said, I don't know what the hell that he just said. Let me just do ChatGPT search.
I've seen that. I've literally been in a hospital and seen the doctor
Doing that research.
gone online
Yeah,
to answer, and you're like, I could have done that myself.
exactly.
I didn't have to come out of my house to come and sit down with you.
Exactly.
To go on the
And
internet.
then they have the pharmaceutical society, in which the pharmaceutical society is also interested in your sickness. The more sick you are. So they're all
100%.
connected like that. That's why most of the doctors, most of the health institution was directly funded by what we call Epstein class of people, who wants people sick.
They want
so
you
that
sick.
they want you to get some pharmacy. They experimented on humans. You know what? They looked at us as peasants. I mean, this country, people was looked at as peasants. There's knights and then there's a king.
Yeah.
You know, that's the setup, and that setup has not changed.
Hasn't changed.
No.
Because just to add to what you're saying, literally my guest on the previous
Right.
episode, Lyndon Wisseart, he reversed his diabetes, and he literally shares on that episode that he, you know, called a meeting with the doctors to be like, I've reversed the diabetes. So not one doctor turned up. None of them turned up.
They can't. They are not allowed to. It goes against the law. I have friends who are close to me who are doctors.
Yeah.
You know, who are doctors.
Yeah.
And they're telling me, Neb, you know, we do what we need to do. So if somebody comes, like, I only laugh because we laugh with each other. It's like, if somebody comes with a skin problem, what do you give them? Steroids. That's all they give them, steroids. What else other things do you got? What else other diet, lifestyle do you recommend? Nothing. We just give them a steroids. That's what the system tell us.
Yeah.
It's like general practitioner, GP, general
Yes.
practitioners, doctors.
Yeah.
They go based on a handbook that's been given to them by a pharmaceutical society.
Yes.
If you have this, they open this book of drugs.
Yeah.
They're good drug dealers, you know. They open up and said, yeah, okay, you have this, we give you steroid for that.
Yeah.
You know, we have that, we give this for that, you know?
I remember there was a window when it was like they were just giving out cocodamol for everything.
Yeah. Because you know why?
I was like, what?
Because they produced it, that needs to sell quickly.
Yeah.
It needs to sell. So just pimp them, like just sell it. So doctors get pimped by those pharmaceutical societies, and they get influenced by overseers, the overlords, to be told, okay, you know what? You do this. And that's what we expect you to do. And that's why, as I said, this is not new to us. Like when people are diagnosed with cancer, just in that area, if one person, everything cancer, everything, if there's a tumor, they say, oh, you got cancer.
Yeah.
Everything is cancer because, and I met somebody who actually is responsible in NHS. When somebody is diagnosed in that area of a cancer, they have the right to demand money from the taxpayers' money to demand all the medication, everything that this patient will need for future medication, the chemotherapy, and everything. They have the ability to go and get it from the government.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and that's why NHS takes a lot of money. For example, just hypertension diseases, they like anything blood-related issues. Guess how much money this government spends in a year?
I can't even guess because it's
217 billion.
Wow.
A year just on blood-related, like heart failure, blood pressure, diabetes, anything blood-related issues, they spend 217 billion a year just on that disease. We're not talking about all other diseases yet.
Yeah,
it's just hypertension.
There's a lot of money that's lost when people are not sick.
Yeah.
When people are well, there's a whole industries that can afford a part.
So that's the fact. So this is basic knowledge, basic information that's out there that the government gives you to show you that this is how they spend your money on people who are being on medication for years and it hasn't helped them.
Right.
They have been in a blood pressure medication for years, and then all of a sudden they have a problem with their kidney because the blood pressure medication cannot filter, the kidney cannot filter all these chemicals for so long. Now all of a sudden our patients have swollen legs.
Yeah, it has a knock-on effect.
So now they're going onto dialysis.
Right.
Again, £32,000 a year for one patient being on dialysis. And that they have to keep clean their blood through the machine.
Right.
You see, and then they have other problems that comes with that now all of a sudden. You see, so this is constructed like that. You are born, and when you're born until you die, there is a vampirism going on. So the same way we hunt and kill animals and eat baby lamb. People pick up and eat baby lamb, baby chicken. It's in the menus, you see that. Baby lamb, Now, you have some characters that eat babies now. What's the difference? You just eat a baby lamb, another person eats a baby children. It's no different. So they're telling you that, like, we're just a big class higher than you. You go and eat an animal, we eat you, your children in that process. I'm just being real. Sorry, it's no difference. So when you go out and eat your baby lamb and baby chicken, don't blame other people for eating the wrong stuff.
Oh, my life.
So we're living in a very cannibalism world. That's what I'm trying to express. So the way we eat, the way we do things is very disagreeable to nature, to life, Animals have consciousness. They have feeling. Female animal would do anything for their child, like a mother. Some woman will never do what I have seen an animal did to save that child.
Right.
I've seen an antelope. She just saw her child, her baby was killed. She was so hurt. She said, "You know what? If you kill her, you might as well kill me." And she would run into this pack of lions.
Wow.
Of this anger, of this love that she has. You're like, you know what? It's no point in me living if I don't live for that child.
Wow.
So monkeys do that.
That's powerful.
So all animals care for their. Go and touch cats, kitten. See what that mother will do to you.
It's true.
She will slice you up.
It's true.
So all animals have feeling. Some of the things we share exactly as all animals in this world. They have compassion. If you stroke them, they feel good.
Yes, people see it, and especially when people got animals that live in their house, so dogs and cats and stuff. They have all this empathy for the pet that's in their house.
But we don't have no empathy for others. There's a book called We Eat and Wear Cows and Dogs, but we love dogs and cats, And Chinese people look at you and say, "I don't know what's wrong with you. I don't know what you're talking about. That dog's my meal to me." You see? So, and here in this Western world, we get mad when Chinese people eat other animals, and here they look at you and say that, "What's wrong with you?" Everything. Once we cut them, and if they bleed, they're all animals.
Yeah, it's a mad world.
Yeah, and I must say, because the system, everything is created in this cannibal world. I'm not saying everybody to be vegan. Not everybody's meant to be vegan. You see, but we never ate the way we eat animal the way we do today. Yes, in African tradition,
excessive.
People ate in celebration.
Right.
They give reverence to this animal before they kill it, before they eat it. They respected this animal. In Ethiopia, there's a culture where they said, when everybody's starving, the only thing is left is the family and the cow that was feeding the family milk. I'm not saying that milk is good for you, but it's a cultural kind of saying. They said, now we're starving. So when everybody's starving, in this moment, the cow is also starving. We all die together with the cow, but we're not going to kill the cow to eat because she's part of the family.
Right.
You see, they have this idea.
Yeah.
But in this country, if there's no food, if there's no Sainsbury's and Tesco's with this all cannibal world we live, listen, people will be on the streets frying another person. If there's no Tesco's and Sainsbury's in this country, within 2 weeks, I guarantee you, within 2 weeks, people are on the blade barbecuing each other.
People will be like every man for themselves.
Yeah.
See in the attitude.
Yeah. So we're not far away from animals.
Yes.
We're not far away from animals in what we can do to each other. In fact, animals don't do certain things to each other the way we do to each other, sadistically, because animals do that to survive. And
we're supposed to know better.
Yeah, and sometimes you do have animals' territorial issues.
Yeah.
Like hyenas and lions, they don't like each other because of the territorial issues, and they have deep hatreds with each other. Generally, you don't see animals in the way we deal with each other. So what makes us that divine? What makes us so special? What makes us to be this unique beings of creatures on this planet? If most of the qualities that humans have is also found in all other animals. You see, these are the questions that each individual person have to ask themselves when it comes to life, when it comes to existing on this planet. You with me?
Yeah.
So yeah, in terms of lifestyle, I would say always look at to eat less. The less you eat, the better you live. You heard about this Ethiopian woman that she haven't eaten food for 14 years?
I have not. Was she a breatharian?
She doesn't eat food, she doesn't drink water and nothing.
She's breatharian then?
Yeah.
She's just rocking
Breatharian,
on
she
breath.
just breathes, yeah.
Okay.
So there was a time that we were like that. We didn't eat like this, you know?
So what would you, with that statement then, what would you advise?
So
how many meals a day?
My mom always used to say, eat good food
Yes.
or don't eat at all. It's a very rough statement, right, for a mother to give. Eat good food or don't eat at all. Master, don't eat at all. So it's very interesting because that is the way I always recommend people. Eat good, nutritious, light, small food. You see, your stomach is this size, more or less here. So if you eat anything beside that, your body, everything stretches.
Yeah.
Everything just goes into it. I would say eat like birds, like small, but you can eat more.
Oh, right, okay.
Instead of eating one big meal and you go to sleep after that.
So more like a grazing situation.
Yeah, you eat small, depending on your metabolism.
Right.
Some people's metabolism is fast, some people's metabolism is slow.
Yes.
You see, so if you have a fast metabolism, that's why birds are always in constant eating. There's always a constant feeding because their metabolism is very fast.
Right.
So they need energy quickly.
Okay.
You see, so there are people like that. And there are people who are like snakes, who eat one meal and they don't eat for 2 weeks. You know, some animals eat like that, consume like that. So I always say eat light, nutritious food. And if you eat something, I would say don't eat later than 6 o'clock because your body shuts down.
Yeah.
Your circadian rhythm start to slow down, and then your body's just shutting down. Your serotonin start to reduce. Your melatonin for relaxation start to kick in by way of your pineal gland.
Yes.
That's how you know the rhythm of the planet and the sun is directly connected to the rhythm of your physical body.
Absolutely.
So once you align yourself with nature, that's what it means. It's not going hugging a tree. And which
What's a hug a tree though?
no, it's not wrong with
don't
that.
hug a tree?
That's nice. But some people say, okay, hugging a tree, like I done it. I walk on my bare feet and I hugged it.
And
And now we go home at 8 o'clock, we have a big dinner like that. No, nature says no. You rather avoiding the hugging the tree and walking on, and don't eat at this time. Instead, you will damage yourself way more doing that than hugging a tree, you know? So yes, it's nice to connect with nature. Hugging humans, hugging a tree, hugging animals.
Yeah.
It's all good with love, you know what I mean? But the most important thing is to align our body with nature.
Yeah.
We eat seasonal food instead of foods that are out of season.
Right.
You know, that's what it means align with nature.
Yes.
We eat food that is close to our environment than outside of our environment. You with me? So align ourselves with nature and then understanding our circadian rhythm of different organs. Our digestive system is at its peak is around 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yes.
That's where you should eat your big meals, for example.
Lunchtime.
And breakfast, you break in your fast with something light if you need to. Some people need to eat, some people don't have to eat. So if you are that person that eats in the morning, then eat something light, nutritious food that you just broke up your fast, because you're not supposed to eat for around 12 hours of that night. That's why they call keto diet.
Yes.
The reason being is the keto diet is good is because when you fast like that, you start using energy of what they call this mitochondria energies producing this ATP production becomes much efficient. You see, and then you'll be able to use that energy efficiently.
Right.
So you produce more energy. So you lose more fat in your system. So you feel more energetic and you have enough nutrition for you to be able to utilize.
Yes.
Otherwise, your body becomes vampire to yourself. It starts feeding off your energy, your life force. And then people get tired half a day, sluggish, become very slow. They did study with monkeys, 2 monkeys, one was overfed by 25%, one was underfed by 25% than average.
Right.
And now what they found out, after like 2-3 years, when you compare these 2 monkeys, the one that was underfed by 25% looked fit, active. Right. That one looked like his granddad, not his dad, his granddad. So when you eat more, what happens is that your cells have to digest. So, and when we get this food, when we eat them, they have to be, the energy, once we take this nutrition, they have to be converted into energy.
Yes.
When you convert anything into energy, there's a byproduct. Right. Sometimes the energy that we eat from this dead food, the energy is like we're getting like 2% of the nutrition and the rest is the byproduct. Right. It's like car engine. Right. When you put your petrol, when you get full petrol, you think, most of the time we think all this petrol will be used in driving the car. No, it's the heat, the combustion, all of that takes all the gases out of it. Yes. And then sometimes only 30%, 40% of the energy is being used. 60% of the energy is being wasted through this energy conversion of that. Yeah. So in our body, we have what we call ionization. Like free radicals. When our body start converting this energy, if you don't eat the right food and you're trying to convert this energy, you don't get the good energy, that's where you have your body we start become sluggish, we become more fat. That means we don't have enough nutrition in our body. Right. You see? Yeah. So, and then we become sluggish, our body doesn't produce the energy that we're supposed to do. And that's where all the disease start to come into. So keto diet, fasting for that specific time, it's like align with nature. Yeah. You see, so I would recommend lifestyle like that. Meditation, walking. You don't have to go in gym and kill yourself. A lot of gyms that goes in, they eat a lot of food, 5 meals a day, 4 meals in a day to maintain a specific structure, so that their prison can look good. They age way faster. Yeah. They will age. A lot of youngsters who are like in the 18s, they've been in a gym pushing hard and they look 35 easily. They look, so because of the food that we eat, the less you eat, the longer you live. So I would say align yourself with nature. And if you're in this country, make sure you have multivitamin because the food that we have doesn't have nutrition. Yeah. So take as much multivitamin, a good multivitamin found that comes from nature rather than synthetically produced mineral. So make sure you have a good multivitamin. Magnesium is so important. It does 500 different things in your system. Wow. Zinc and copper, that should be incorporated into your multivitamin, you know what I mean? So they're very, very important. CMOS, has a lot of things in your system. Have some type of smooth. It's good for your joint, cartilage, tendon. It's high in minerals and vitamins. I would say trying to get as much minerals and rich minerals food as you can while we're living in the society. That's the type of lifestyle I would recommend than anything else.
Amazing. And thank you so much, Neb. So do you have any last thoughts that you'd like to share?
Oh, it was a pleasure talking to you. And I like the shows and I'll be watching some of them. I need to watch the hours, especially with your uncle and so the things what he has to say. I love positive people. I love people that helps others. I love people who have a selfless act. So I like to watch these things. Please do send me the link, or I need to go to your YouTube channels and check that out. And so keep up what you're doing. That's all what I'm saying. And information is very important. Also educating our communities through experience, and I've been a gatekeeper for many years in our communities, and I've seen so much good things, as well as I've seen a lot of, misconfirmation, misdirection of our community. I also learned we are very influential people. We have a lot of influence. We don't even know how much power, influence we have. And I want to leave it that we are co-creators of this reality. Your influence, the way you think, the way you understand things has a vital role in healing all of us.
Yes.
You know, when one person heal, I heal.
Yes.
You know, sometimes I'm not doing it for that person, I'm doing it for myself, because when you heal, I heal, you know? There's always a chain reaction that takes place when all of us, we heal together. So nothing can be right, you know, if all of us are not on that same boat. We always, otherwise we still have to wait for the last person to come through, the weakest person. We still have to wait for that person to come. Nothing will move to anywhere until all are being healed. You see, it might take time, but that's the life we chose. That's the destiny we have in this stage, in which even though a person reaches specific state, okay, you're there, so what? You're on yourself though. You are lonely on yourself, so why don't you bring people up there, you know, in that level, so that we all can grow? And that's what this thing that is all about, helping each other to grow to that place in which we find freedom, you know?
Absolutely.
So that's what I want to say.
Thank you. And where, and do you want to repeat where people can find you?
You can find us online on netavital.co.uk, as well as we're based in Brixton. We are
London.
underneath the recreation centre, the landmark of Brixton, and this place. We are underneath a listed building for Black culture, history, and the contribution of the Black communities have done to Western world, because the Windrush generation, when they get here, that building was completed for that community specifically. And then we managed to get listed on that subject. So there is no building in Europe that we can say that represents our culture. That's the only building that we have that's been listed after.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and there's no building in Europe. Like the Black Archives in Brixton, is owned by some stock, you know, companies, big companies.
Wow.
It's not owned by our communities, you see. So the recreation center, we are honored to be underneath the recreation center, because it represents the culture, it represents the history, the rich histories of different communities who have come there and who has made the place. And we are underneath the recreation center, 25 Brixton Station Road. And there you find us. We have many people of all over the countries, different nationalities. We have people from Jamaica, from West Africa. We have people all over the world working with us to make this place a viable and healing environment. So do come and check us. We do scanning. We do also other activities. We have meditation center and a Tema art center, where we do the culture, the yoga activities, meditation as well, because we realize healing is not just the product, it's also healing.
Yes.
Mentally and spiritually as well. So we have also in Brixton a place for that as well. So I'm looking forward to see you there. And yeah.
Love that, Neb. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming.
And another incredible episode, an incredible guest. And I'm so honoured to know Neb and have known Neb for a very long time. And I can very much say he has been doing the work. And this is what we like on this podcast. It's people who have heard the call, responded to the call. They see that there's a need for something and created a solution. And we see that Netta Vital is an amazing place, and get in touch with them online. And if you're local and you're actually in London, you live in London or you're coming through London, definitely go and visit them. And yeah, may the healing start for some, and may the healing continue for others. And for those who connect with Neb, you will never forget him. He's a memorable guy, and he will definitely leave a magical impression. And I'd say, yeah, so get in touch with Neb, get in touch with me, the usual places, talk to me, let's get in the comments, and share this episode with people you know would definitely benefit from everything that's been discussed. And as usual, stay blessed.